What's going on, YouTube? Anyways, I was just recommended Just Bill here. He was just monetized. Um, Never knew who this person was until today. They were recommended to me, so I figured I'd check out and see what was going on over on Marvel Rivals. I haven't been following the game. I don't know anything that's been happening in the game or anything like that. And yeah, so that's what's bringing us to this video today. It's going to lead us into my other points down the line here. And we're going to listen in to Just Bill. Congratulations, Just Bill, if you ever do come across this video, which you probably won't. But congratulations on the monetization on your channel. Keep up the good work.
We're seeing about a 70 to 80,000 player decline, which could be, just because the hype kind of died down and dwindled down. But then you look at further months, even despite new heroes being added to the game, like all of the Fantastic Four. I'm talking Human Torch, The Thing, Invisible Woman, Mr. Fantastic, and they even added Ultron in the past 30 days. And what are you noticing? Another 30,000 player drop in May, another 5,700 player drop in the last 30 days. So, what's going on here? Why is there even an issue with this decline in the game to begin with? Can it be pinpointed on a particular reason? I don't think so, but we're going to talk about a few of them. The first reason that we're going to be talking about is skill based matchmaking, or as some people like to call it nowadays, engagement optimized matchmaking, EOMM for short. And essentially, if you're playing this game even for a month, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Even for like 2 weeks, you know what I'm going to be talking about here. It's the fact that you can play, quick play or ranked. I've noticed it in both modes. Those are the most popular modes in this game. You can be on a little bit of a winning streak. You can win 5, 6 games, and then guess what? The engagement optimized matchmaking kicks in and forces you basically to lose your next 3, 4, maybe even your next 5 to 6 games. They're really trying to keep you around that 55 to 60% win rate most of the time because they realize that's what keeps people playing the game for longer. Every video game basically has this these days, whether it's Call of Duty, Marvel Rivals, Fortnite, you're gonna have your team will be either not so great and the other team will just be, godlike, right? And they will just completely stomp you once get 4 to 5 wins. Those next 6 losses are basically going to be that. What I've also noticed in particular, and this isn't really tinfoil hat theory here, but what I've noticed specifically is that in those, 5 or 6 losses that you take, you're basically dealing with 1 to 2 teammates that really don't know what they're doing. And this might be tinfoil hat, but I would not be surprised, especially in those lower ranks where you have, more than, 1,000 people or 5,000 people in a particular rank like gold or even plat or even diamond. I wouldn't be surprised if NetEase, with the dwindling player count, has actually incorporated bots into competitive play. That's
So just so you understand, this guy understands that the Steam charts don't really make up for console or anything, but it's a good indicator, a good idea. He already made that clear. I just wanted to make that clear to you guys. Check him out if you want to. I just wanted to fill you in on that part of the video that I watched that I thought was interesting because a lot of what he just said, I stated before the game even came out. I stated it after the game came out. Some of you that may be still around probably was there when that happened. You know what I mean? I wanted to point out one comment here. One thing a lot of content creators don't mention when it comes to the EOMM is personal stats. I tested this out, played quick play solo for a few hours, then went back and reviewed every match and looked at all my teammates and opponents' stats. I kid you not, the win rate for mainly everyone was around the 50% margin. The evidence is literally slapping people in the face, but nobody speaks about it. And here we are. We've been speaking about this subject, even though this wasn't my intentional niche on this channel, but unfortunately, that's what has got me subscribers and people commenting and interacting with my videos. And I have been pretty spot on for the most part when it comes to this subject. Again, this video was posted 8 days ago. Again, I have not been following Marvel Rivals or playing it or anything like that ever since I stopped basically playing it and exposing it for what it was. And then I jumped into Splitgate 2. Now, there could be a reason the player drop for this game. It could be for a couple of reasons on Steam for in general because of the fact that Dune Awakening, I think the game's called, just came out, I believe. You have Splitgate 2, which I think is on a downward spiral. I've been seeing multiple videos popping up over the last couple days of issues with the game, such as like not having a competitive ranked play or microtransaction issues and stuff like that. And I assumed that the game had EOMM when I first played the beta for the very first time, and then I came back to it 3 months later, and then they did the full launch. Then they introduced the battle royal stuff. Never touched the battle royal stuff. I'm not a fan of it. Not a fan of Splitgate whatsoever. I'm not somebody who wants to see games die, but when it comes to EOMM, I do want to see them die because they don't belong in the space. They're bullshit. They compromise competitive integrity. If you're somebody who plays PvP games and thinks that you should be in a safe place, then you shouldn't be playing PvP games. That's my fun. I enjoy getting my ass whooped by somebody who's better so I can get better. And the only way for me to see that progress is by actually seeing the progress, not the system holding my fucking hand and making adjustments with variables and everything else. Yes, it does do that. EOMM is the new skill based matchmaking. Skill based matchmaking is no longer a thing, it was replaced by EOMM. And I did some research and found out that EOMM was actually being tested in Black Ops 3 due to its loot box system at the time. And then they went ahead in future years, they went ahead and patented it for basically Modern Warfare 2019. That's when it really started to get very obvious that things were weird. Anyways, we talked about this subject. We talked about the possibilities of Marvel Rivals collapsing within the coming months, and I was pretty spot on for the most part. And I am going to make another bold claim and another bold prediction here today, and that's going to be Gears of War, the remake. It's making its debut on PlayStation, and I remember playing it for the first time years ago, and it had tons of issues on the Unreal 3 engine, hit detection issues, and so forth. And I was watching somebody on YouTube, and they were demonstrating or gameplay sessions with this new Gears of War remake. And one thing that I was paying very close attention to was the one-on-one scenarios, where I was watching the person who posted the video against these other players, and I started to realize that there was some, and he posted multiple rounds, so it was a lengthy video that I watched here on YouTube, and I started to notice that there was patterns. I started to notice that hit detection, like they were shooting each other, neither one of them were taking damage, but suddenly the second he goes into cover, he magically dies from a headshot. This is classic EOMM shit to me. Again, I do believe that most of these games that have EOMM in it, it's like a 10 game span and a percentage win rate, win loss ratio within that, with a mixture of KDs, where you'll have like high KD, low KD, and things like that. Which is going to bring me back around the loop about my network videos that I've posted, which I knew I was going to come back around to eventually in the first place. Doing my studies with these testings, and I found that manipulating my network on my end will sometimes fool EOMM systems, thinking that I am on a bad connection or need assistance from the game's engine and netcoding in general, which gives me more consistent rounds. But once it reads me and understands what's going on, it makes adjustments to me. Then I have to go back into my router, make changes again to create different types of chaos to get the game not to punish me for having those consistent games, so I can get more consistent games. And then it becomes a job. It becomes a routine. I have to constantly go through settings and changing things to stay ahead of EOMM. And the longer that I play, the longer it has to collect data on me and make adjustments to, such as like my variables and things like that. What am I talking about? Let's say that you're on a $20,000 PC and you're competing against PlayStation 5 and Xbox players, series players, right? The thing of it is that EOMM will manipulate your preferables, such as like mouse. Whether you want to admit to it or not, a mouse is a lot more accurate and has a lot more precision and control over controller players, which gives them an advantage right from the door, along with frames per second, along with low ping. That's an extreme and fast hardware on top of that, much faster hardware than what a console can even offer at the moment. So this is a superior system that's being matched against last gen consoles. And the thing of it is, guys, is that in today's gaming, you're only as fast as the slowest player in the game. The game will adjust to the slowest player in the game. And that's why you see a lot of Wi-Fi warriors running around where they rubber band or glitch across the screen and shit like that. You can easily tell who's on Wi-Fi compared to a wired connection, which used to be the thing. And everything has changed now where it's more about casual gameplay than it is competitive. And that's where competitive integrity has been completely destroyed. They use this EOMM system to drive player retention and possibly to drive sales. That's what it's all about. They don't give a fuck about the actual gameplay experience. As long as it's okay enough where people don't realize the patterns, then it's okay by them. But the second that people start to realize it and the player numbers start to drop and your game starts to become a wasteland, now all of a sudden they go into panic mode. We're already starting to see that with Call of Duty, for an example. Black Ops 7 seems to be completely blacklisted at the moment, but knowing the Call of Duty community, they'll still go and buy the game and then go on YouTube and bitch about it. That's normally how it happens. I don't pay full price for those games, so if I do purchase it, I usually try to get it at a good deal. I don't spend outrageous amounts of money, like 80 to 100 and some fucking dollars on these games. It's kind of ridiculous if you ask me, but that's just how I work it. But again, my bold prediction here is that they will definitely, the Gears of War will definitely have EOMM, especially if it has a cash shop or skins or anything like that. So if you have plans on buying that game, I am warning you firsthand, and you're going to thank me for it, because if you do buy it and you're going to see this video before the game even comes available to PlayStation users, that game is definitely going to be rigged with EOMM. I can almost, not almost, but certainly guarantee it. That's my bold prediction. I guarantee that it will be rigged with these EOMM systems. So with all that being said, tomorrow is my birthday. I am getting old and frustrated with these fucking video games anymore.
Had to cut him off. He was bitching too much.